and welcome back to my channel. So I hope you're well, and today is horrendous. It's raining and it's completely gray. I hope the lighting is okay. So I decided today to film. Actually, if you subscribe to my channel, already had been on there. As I said in mine, I accidentally deleted it and I was so upset about it. But I figured that I needed to film again. I don't want the video to be missing from my channel, and since I didn't know how to put it up again and I don't have a backup video on my computer, that's a shame. I know I will fix that, it won't ever happen again. I decided that I wanted to film it. So this one is about a personal experience. I've been working in a beauty store for the past 2.5 years and I really like that job. Of course, I wouldn't be doing that, but I always wanted to work in luxury retail. And since I've accumulated over the years a little bit of experience, I decided to apply to Louis Vuitton because it was, I think, October. A position came available at the local store near where I live. It's not actually super close, but it's about 2 hours away, but still it's a local one. It's the closest one. So for the first time I applied, and it actually wasn't the first time, because the first time that I applied for Louis Vuitton was a spontaneous application that I did back in 2018. But I think that those spontaneous application won't get considered. So I don't recommend you to do that if you're looking a job in luxury retail. But this time I applied and actually I got the message. I was so happy about it, because that was the first time luxury retail opportunity came. I was ecstatic, and they actually sent me a text message and I still have it on my phone. I won't probably ever receive that message again. No, just kidding, I'm not being so pessimistic, but you know, under the circumstances. But I do still have it in my, I will keep it as a treasure. This message when they told me that interested in my CV, and they mailed me all the details to just go further, and I was so happy about it. It was the first actual chance that I had to reach that goal of mine. I opened my mailbox and saw all the information, and they actually asked me to download an app which is called Easy Recruit. If you've been doing this kind of interviews, I'm sure you're familiar with. It's an app that allows to give you an interview with some questions, both written and spoken. And they gave me a code, and they gave me also a deadline, and it was a week away from the email that I got. So I downloaded this app, and when you download this app, there's a way you can prepare yourself for the interview, because there's to see how it's like. So you don't actually you don't actually register yourself, and the interview that you do for a test won't be sent, but at least it's a try, so you can really see how it works. So it works that you have around 30 seconds to read a question and about 2 minutes to answer it. So that's actually what I did. I tried a few times. You will find in the test are not the actual questions, but they're pretty similar. So the only chance that I had to have more information about it was to call my friend. I have a friend who works at Chanel. She lives in London, and she was so helpful to me. Actually, she worked at Louis Vuitton before working for Chanel. But I immediately called her, and she gave me so many kind of questions they might ask, that they're very strict with customer service, so that I had to really focus on that and to be calm and try to be as professional as possible. A lot of tips to succeed, I guess, and she told me to stay calm and just take my time. So I waited about 2-3 days before my deadline. I got the text at the beginning of the week and the deadline was at the end of the week. So I waited around 2-3 days. And I put myself ablaze, as you have to be professional, and I did the interview through my phone. Make sure to have also a neutral background. You don't want to be in a noisy place, just somewhere quiet. I did it, and there were about 9 questions. They were mainly in Italian because I applied for an Italian store, and I also got 2 questions in English, and I also had to write down a few. I will tell you what they asked me in case you'll find, I think this information is quite useful. Since I've been through it, I can help you if you're starting out, if you're about to do an interview. So the first question was actually an obvious one, but I actually didn't answer the way I wanted. The question was, talk about yourself and tell us why you would like to change your job. And that question, as simple as it is, I found myself really don't know what to say. I actually introduced myself and I told what I was doing and why I wanted to change my job. And I actually didn't use all the whole 2 minutes that I had. And that was the first mistake that I've made, because if you do have 2 minutes, and since you're not having an interaction, because this interview, you only see the questions written, you don't talk with anyone other than yourself. So that's actually quite frustrating, because you don't have the chance to, make it up if you make a mistake. Because once you skip to the next question, the previous one is already sent. So there's no way for you to go back and redo it. It's gone. So my suggestion is for you to use the whole 2 minutes, even if you're rambling, but just talk so they can get to know you a little bit better. So I actually ended up using not even a minute, I guess, and I'm quite a talkative person. I like to talk, as you can probably tell, but that was the first mistake that I made. Then they asked me what kind of contract I had, and that right there I made the second mistake, because I accidentally logged out of the app, so that question had gone again. And you don't have to do that for no reason. Just don't log out. I didn't even log out. I actually pressed accidentally my home button and the app closed, and then again I opened it up again and the question was gone. So another mistake, and I lost another point. So be careful with that. Don't you ever log out, or don't you ever exit from the app, because it's crucial you don't lose the question, since there are only 9 of them. Then they asked me why I thought I would be a great fit for the position, and right there I think I scored a pretty great answer, because I told them that I always wanted to work in luxury retail, that I always want to better myself professionally, and I always want to reach the best and be the best to clients. I also said that being understanding the needs of a client, it's the actual core of the store. It's one of the main features that make a good client advisor. And I think that the question I answered pretty good, actually. Willing to travel, and I said yes, because the store that I applied to, it's not close to my home. I actually had to take the train, do a 2-hour journey there, and 2 hours to get back home. So it would have been quite easy for me, but I would have done, like, those sacrifices would have been worth it, because working in those kind of stores has always been my goal, and it would have been so great. You're probably getting that I didn't get in as I'm talking, but we'll get to that in a minute. So I finished this interview, which I thought didn't go well. You know, you feel in your gut when something is not right. And I was right, because 3 weeks later, email saying that they already chose another girl for the position, and they thanked me for my time, and they also told me that yada yada yada, that there's always a possibility in the Louis Vuitton team all over the world and all that. So not that I wasn't expecting that, but you know, when you do something and you know in your gut it's not right, you always hope for the best. At least that's what I do as a person. So I was hoping to have the chance to get to know them, and that didn't happen for me, because this was the first step. If I gone through it, I actually would have done the face-to-face interview at the store, I think, because it's not so easy to get in there. You have to go a 3-step interview, if I'm not mistaken. So I would have loved to get the opportunity to just talk to the manager and to have an interaction, a direct interaction. It's a completely different. It's completely different, because you can make up if you do some mistakes. They get to see your personality, whether if you do a phone interview, that's not the same. And especially that one was my first one, and I'm not saying that because and I'm not complaining, I'm just saying that these kind of interviews are good, okay, they're not so good. I think the only way to interview someone is to just get to know them face to face, but I guess it's not possible, since I'm sure that the candidates were hundreds, so it's quite impractical to interview every single one of them. But I was really upset that I didn't get the chance. I would have reacted better if I've gotten rejected after I had a face-to-face. That would have been better, because I first of all had to let them get to know me a little better, and if even that wasn't enough, I would have been okay with that. But at least they got to see me in person, and that for sure I think it would have made a big difference. So I wanted to talk about this experience of mine, because I'm sure that there are many girls out there that are looking for a job in luxury retail, and I'm here just to say that it's not as easy as it seems to get in there. And I won't give up, especially when everything will be over. I hope there will be other opportunities for me in that kind of field, because that's what I actually want to do. I don't know what life has in store for me, but I know I want to be successful in life, and I won't give up. Even if I do live in a really, really small town, and we are lacking of opportunities, especially under these circumstances, I always want to better myself, and I always want to be the best version of myself, and I won't give up, and I hope you do not too, because we got this and we'll get through this. And I always had big dreams that somehow I'll inspire you to just go out there and always for the best, always aspire to the best, and that's the best advice I can give you. I'm not like a grown-up woman with huge experiences. I'm just 27, but I know what I want in life, and I've always wanted to inspire people as much as other people inspire me. And you celebrities all over the world, even your neighborhood can inspire you to do something that you've never thought of doing. So just remember that. And I hope you enjoyed this video, and I made your day lighter, and I hope to see you on the next. Don't forget to subscribe, and see you on the next one. Bye.